All right, you're looking at the Russell 2000 index. Normally, I just show the Nasdaq because that's what interests me, and that's where most of the stocks that I traffic in are on the Nasdaq, the growth stocks. But this is a smaller cap stock index for 2 billion to 10 or 12. Some of these stocks have run up to 15, 18 billion, but they're smaller cap, more risk. They don't have the earnings power that the S&P has. And you can see that the risk is off here. As this thing is sliced, it's 200. So I show the Nasdaq every day, but that is actually holding up better than these other indexes. And there's a lot of weakness in the smaller cap, more riskier assets, and is evidenced by the Russell 2000. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, with all their big industrial stocks, not doing much better. This is well below its 200, 2.4% below this 200 simple moving average. And you can see the short-term moving averages are all going lower. The 10 has actually crossed the 20 there. So this index has seen a lot of carnage and damage as well. And one other one that I want to show, of course, is the S&P 500. This one is doing a little better as it's above its 200, but still 3.9% below the 50 here. And these are downtrending short-term moving averages. And, you got to ask yourself, I always ask myself, are the institutions supporting the market? Are there many stocks leading and breaking out to new highs? We see a few, but not many. You need to see many stocks. And the last question I asked myself, are the indices above their moving averages and trending higher? And if the answer to all three of those questions is no, there's really no reason to put, my hard-earned dollars at risk in the market here. So I'm protecting myself. I'm making, I have a couple of stocks that I'm holding, but there's no sense in going big here. Position size is important. So very small, trading quicker, in a choppy tape like this. I wouldn't call this a downtrending tape. This is just kind of a choppy mess here. Very hard for someone like me, who's a trend trader, who needs a trend. And this is just kind of chop city, Hopefully this is making a bottom here and it's going to start to move higher. Today it was up, the Nasdaq was up 177 points, or 1.35%. It was not a follow-through day because the volume was lower than the prior session, and they've been below average here for the most part recently. I did want to point out today was an inside day, as yesterday's bar was massive, mostly to the downside. We got a little bit of it back today, but still an inside day. We haven't had an inside day for a long while. I like inside days on the trending up, but on these types of days, it's just kind of like a stall. And this is the Nasdaq for the week. It's up on the week. It feels like so miserable and horrible, but the index is up for the week. I'm going to show you quite a few stocks that they feel bad, but they're actually treading water this week since we started October. 3 days. Anyway, I'm going to take you down the negative road and then bring you back on the positive track, because the oil and gas stocks got hammered today. This is CRC, California Resources. Wasn't that long ago, or I was joking, any stock with a resource in it is a winner, and now they're getting smashed, and that's how quickly it happens in the stock market. This is PR. Another one, if I show you the weekly, this one had a nice consolidation, ran up. Now it's adios muchachos. You got to get out of there. I do when they slice the 50. I can't tell anybody when to sell or buy, but when a stock like that slices the 50 in this big volume coming in, it's adios muchachos for me. And I did not own PR before today. Occidental, even Uncle Warren's favorite stock here that he's going to buy eventually, sliced its 200 today. That one looks bad. Another exploration stock is Devon, looks just being sold off. And for me, I think this is good because these oil and gas stocks are inflationary. This is Tidewater, one that's been such a winner for a long time. And now after this breakout, go back to the 50. We'll see how it does. If I owned it, I would get rid of it, though. Same with Weatherford. These are slicing, they're moving at 50 with volume. So AMR, even the Energy coal stocks, this one pulled back to the 21 today. CIX, which had been so strong, pulled back to the 21, and Warrior as well. This one just pulled back to its 10, so it's the stronger of those three energy coal stocks. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all the negative charts. There's plenty of them out there. I just want to take a look at some stocks that I like, that I might own, and maybe in the future, and that are just showing strength. That there's not a lot of them, and so when you see them, they stick out like sore thumbs. Anyway, I'm going to start off with Arista Networks. This is one that I'm going to put on my ready list tonight, because when the Nasdaq was just getting crushed, this thing just pulled back to its 50, and so it was showing strength while the Nasdaq was making lower lows, and now it just pulled back to its 50, found support, traded tight. Another inside day. You're going to see a lot of these inside day candles today. But anyway, Arista Networks, I think if the market starts healing, stabilizing, and improving, this one's going to trend higher. So CrowdStrike is another one. You can see these big bars on Tuesday, which is a lot of pain. People are really upset, and rightfully so. I mean, you lose a lot of money on a big bar like that. But today just had an inside day. And to me, it's just kind of treading water, since it was just like early June, just going sideways here, which is okay with the Nasdaq pulling back. Another one is Zscaler, in the same vein there, kind of trading sideways for a long time today. Just had that inside day, this big massive bar, but it did recapture its moving averages after pulling back to this red line here is the 50. Pulled back there yesterday, and then today just had an inside day. Got some of it back, not much, 2.42% after a 5.86% drop on Tuesday, gained 2.42% back today. So just an inside day, but trading sideways since back here in middle of June. Duolingo is another one that I like. Because it made this double bottom base pattern and rallied through the 50 hard, and it's had some volume here. As you can see, this is good buy volume. Today or yesterday, it pulled back to its 10 and found support today. So any stock trading above that 10 EMA is showing strength. SMCI is another one. I have a love-hate relationship with this stock. It did really well for me, and then it topped out there at 357, got crushed on earnings, but really has just traded sideways since. It did make this double bottom type of pattern here since it's been selling off. Great fundamentals on this stock. There's your double bottom at 228. Now it's rallying through, but it needs to rally through hard like Duolingo did. I want to see big volume moves, and it's just kind of choppy here. So it's still trading within this little box pattern. If it breaks out of that, I still think 300 will probably provide some resistance, but the trade from 270, 280 to 300, it's like going from 27 to 30 or 28 to 30. That would be a nice 10% move if you got it there at 270. So SMCI looks good. Once again, though, I got to go to the weekly. This thing had a massive run and now has pulled back. And just forming this little box pattern here. Yeah, you can see that even though it felt real bad yesterday, this thing's still up 2.25% for the week, and I heard some people saying, oh, I'm going to short SMCI, it's a dog. But man, this is the problem with shorting. You think you got something in a downtrend and then it rips your face off. So it did recapture its 50 today. It bounced off its 10 from Tuesday and just had an inside day. So this one is still intriguing me. Like I say, a love-hate relationship with Supermicro. Costco, this is a more calmer one. Bigger, I got to go to the weekly. This is a slower moving stock, and it's up, more than 1% for the week too. But you can see the long consolidation pattern, which I like. And if it just kind of flattens out there at 570, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And maybe when the market starts, healing, getting a little better towards, the holiday season, this thing will pick up. But you can see it's showing relative strength by this RS line here. So Costco to me looks good. healthy. This is Akamai. This one's shown this. I've said it needs time, and this is exactly what it's doing. It's forming this little bull wedge pattern as it pulled back to the 21 on Tuesday. Today, just a little, less than 1% bounce, but the volume is drying up as it pulls back to moving averages. And that's what you want to see after a prior uptrend. So this one to me looks good. That's Akamai. We have three of them from the, well, I'm not going to get to that yet. I'm going to go to Vert from Vertiv Holdings. This is doing something similar to Akamai because it had this, prior uptrend, massive prior uptrend here, and then a gap higher, and this uptrend and a pullback to moving averages. This one does have higher volume than the Akamai, but it traded back to its 21 and found support. And that's what you want to see. Another inside day. I mean, you're going to see a lot of these inside day candles today because the big bar was on Tuesday, but it was up 3.6% today. So a good day for VRT. The other group that's doing well is the electrical manufacturing group, JBL. This one capped higher on earnings, and I believe it was like 9% above its 10 EMA, which is unheard of in this choppy tape. 8.3% above its 10 EMA. So that one is doing well. FN Fabrinet is another one. Gap higher, pulled back to moving average. And now today, just showing strength there. This is incredible strength for this tape. This tape is not showing a lot of leadership and having a lot of stocks making new highs. This is a Flex. It's in the same group, but it's pulling back within a base. It needs to stay above the 50 though. And right now it just closed, 0.4% above the 50. So it's just one that I'm watching and has potential. It's in that group where those stocks have been really moving. So a couple other stocks I wanted to point out that I have on my ready list this week. This is Bell Ring Brands, BRBR, cosmetics, personal care stock. I'm going to get into another one here in a minute. But this one had a nice day today and has been, trading sideways. If we look at the weekly chart, you can see the big move up, sideways consolidation, and another move higher. It had a 3 weeks tight pattern going into this week. And Bowring is just, I would call that treading water while the index is, as I showed you earlier, they're really struggling. So that one looks good. Murphy USA, this one is a little perplexing because this has the oil and gas component with the mini market, but you can see this one broke out and then is just respecting its 10 EMA. So it made a new high today. So there's nothing wrong with making new highs, especially in this tape. This is Road, ROAD, Construction Partners. And it didn't gap higher, but it traded higher, like 7% today with massive volume. I don't know if there's any news here or not, but any stock making new highs and doing something like that, I'm interested in. And if we go back to the weekly, you can see it had this. This whole thing is just like a big consolidation here. It's been a long time since it's made a big move higher. So maybe it's Rhodes' turn. It's up 5.25% this week, so not bad. And then the last one I'm going to show is NUVL. This is a biotech stock making 35% move. I don't know if Wall Street Bets is on that thing, but I'm sure everybody on Twitter owned this thing. I'm sure. I'd never heard of it before today, but anyway, it made a new high, so I just posted it. Anyway, that's it for me, except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs. One more thing, I have to go to Shark Ninja because I've been checking out their products. I like their products, and anybody who is on my site knows that I like IPOs. I like to monitor IPOs because every monster stock was once an IPO, so you got to monitor these things. This one undercut its IPO price, which is normal. And then it's been rising ever since, and today just pulled back to its 10 EMA. I love their products. I don't own any yet. I probably will in the near future, but I like this action in the stock. It's much better than some of these other stocks that have been brought to market here on the IPO market that has just been ripping off the retail people. You got to stay away from this. They ran this thing up to 58. Now it's at 31. I mean, this is just criminal activity. You cannot chase these IPOs. And I mean, if you're new to the stock market, you think, oh, this is a hot stock, I'm going to buy it, and then it's 58 one day and then 31 the next month. I mean, you're going like, what the heck happened? That's just the game they play on Wall Street, man. It really stinks. AMR, not AMR, ARM. Maybe some people were buying ARM thinking it was AMR. This one was run up massively the first couple of days, and then now is sold off, but it's still overvalued. Man, that thing went from 69 to 53. So, it's already 22.5% off that high. So that's a lot of pain there. And the other one is CART, another IPO that just, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going in and chasing this stuff, you're going to get burned. This is a 42.95 on the opening session, and now it's at $27. So just got to be careful of these IPOs. Let them trade a while, because 99% of them, they undercut their IPO lows. So you can always get in when they start having some sort of a trading record. Don't chase it, and don't chase these things. The people making money on these IPOs are the insiders, the underwriters. So if you're not in on that, then you're probably going to lose money, at least the first couple of months. I mean, let them have a couple earnings reports. Let some institutions come in and start supporting the stock before you get too crazy. Speaking of which, I just wanted to point out at the top of the show, I asked, are the institutions supporting this market? And I can say unequivocally, no. You can see these large pink volume bars. That's distribution, massive selling here. It's starting to calm down. We're starting to get some more blue bars in there, and this can change in a day. I mean, we could get a fall through day tomorrow, and this thing could rally hard into the end of the year. So stick with it, stay vigilant, stay positive. Don't get down if there's having a bad day. There's always tomorrow. And at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. So you don't either.